The long spear is known as the weakest weapon in the world. However, the boy killed all the forest monsters with it. This action surely angered the swordsmanship family. They plotted to put me in a desperate situation. In the secret chamber of the castle, the fat lord met with the knight commander. He questioned why he hadn't eliminated the bastard earlier. If this continues, the young master may not inherit the title, putting his lordship at risk. This is only because he is the younger brother of my wicked stepmother. He only has his current rights due to family support. He never imagined being the nephew of the Heavenly Terrace. He will be greatly overwhelmed by the sudden appearance of the illegitimate child. Shi Feng responded at this time. The young master was originally a talentless person. I'm not sure what happened, but suddenly he appeared different. He mastered an impressive gun technique. Fatty snorted, why else could it be? It must be that kid who made a contract with some high-level demons. Shi Feng was about to deny this possibility. Fatty interrupted and kept on talking. Nobody cares if he is colluded with demons or not. If the family's leadership agrees, it suffices. Shi Feng nodded and instantly understood what Pang Tu meant. In the end, although he is powerful, he has a childlike mentality. If he attends the Imperial Academy, I'll handle him my way. On the other hand, I was getting ready for the banquet. But I was stopped by the old butler. My stepmother unexpectedly wanted to see me. Upon arrival at the door, I sensed it was a trap for me. In the hall, my stepmother, Shi Feng, and even my biological mother were invited. You should know that this woman usually dislikes my mother the most. Inviting her to the table to eat definitely has hidden motives. My eyes scanned Shi Feng beside me, and he immediately broke out in a cold sweat. But my kind mother wouldn't allow me to be so rude. Stepmom said the gathering is to celebrate my successful return. Being admitted to the Imperial Academy, and my whole family will accompany me to the capital to see me off. My mother was thrilled to hear this news, but still felt it wasn't appropriate for her to come along. The stepmother didn't respond, she simply rang the bell for the dishes. The table was quickly filled with luxurious delicacies. Looking at the arrangement of these dishes, I pondered. I followed my mother's instructions and sat by her. My stepmother deceitfully claimed she asked my mother what she liked to cook these dishes. This made my mother, who had been humble all her life, pleasantly surprised. Just as my mother was about to put the food into her mouth, I quickly stood up and revealed my stepmother's trick. The clear soup on your side, while we have various meats and fish on ours. In my past life, I was a palace entering general. How could such a poisoning trick go unnoticed? After being exposed, she falsely said she was dieting. But in the next second, she was caught in her own answer. This smelly kid is concealing his real talents. How can he fool her with years of lies? Noticing the tense atmosphere, Shi Feng quickly intervened to salvage the situation. I had already disliked him long ago. What qualifications do you have to interrupt the master when they are speaking? The strong killing intent only enveloped Shi Feng alone. But the stepmother realized the trick had been exposed. Shi Feng drew his sword, ready to attack me. My divine spear instantly appeared in my hand. He knew he couldn't defeat me, but he grit his teeth and went for it. Two magical forces collided, but at this moment, my father suddenly appeared. The chess-style blame first was the one that acted against the master without permission. The second was the marital argument. As a royal who married into the duke's mansion, she feared nothing from her father-in-law. My father sent us out of the banquet hall. Then, he started reasoning with his stepmother. It's likely impossible to reason with his wife. His stepmother brought up the royal family behind her. I know you don't care about me at all. Your heart only belongs to the family. I didn't willingly marry into this. My son is everything. If that child threatens my loved ones, I will make you regret it at any cost. Father had no way to deal with him, but still smiled and said, Is this why you're tarnishing the royal family's reputation? Hearing this, the stepmother's face reflected fear. Father's gaze was fixed on the food on the table. On the other side of the castle, a servant hurriedly opened the door to find the whereabouts of the red-haired girl. They informed him of my upcoming enrollment in the Imperial Academy in the capital. Upon my return from the Black Forest, Roche's expression grew notably lonely at the thought of not seeing you. The servant asked, surprised, Don't you want to see the young master? I remember that you saw his potential from the beginning. And now he has become the youngest magic awakening person on the entire continent. Why not get closer to him instead, miss? Roche explained that his family is currently facing a crisis. Now they are in conflict with the mercenaries and the Axemaster. So his father is trying to arrange a marriage between him and the eldest son. Only with the Duke's help is it possible to save the family. Since seeing me, it's hard for him to face his older brother. The servant scratched his head and understood the girl's thoughts. Then he remembered that the Duke seems to value the young master more now. Since you don't truly love the eldest son in your heart, it's better to act according to your own wishes. As for saving the family, it might just work out. Hearing these words, Charlotte regained her confidence. She wanted to see me again before the horse team departed. The next morning, the castle was still discussing the expedition to the Black Forest. A knight came, intrigued by the rumors. In the past, I avoided recruiting subordinates to prevent suspicion of faction formation and pursuing personal interests. Now, to achieve my goal, capable recruits are necessary. I remember the sea-level knight named Kay, who was known for his justice and loyalty. Unfortunately, in my previous life, he was my older bro. But now he kneels before me and wants to acknowledge me as his master. I have no reason to refuse such a helper. During this trip, I'll make him my comrade. Charo ran towards me, holding up her skirt. After bowing to my father, I said that I wanted to meet the young master. Father said the eldest son is still recovering in the castle. But he insisted that he came for me. Father smiled, seemingly unfazed by this change. He bypassed everyone and ran to my horse. I had told him to leave before, so what does he want now? But he lowered his head and whispered that he just wanted to give me a gift. He handed me a pocket watch engraved with an owl pattern. Symbol of our family, visit my house in the capital. The servants were terrified and nearly died instantly. Miss, that thing cannot be given away casually.